Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. I'm your host, your local real estate expert, and I've got our resident data analyst here with me. Hey guys, so look, today we are completely skipping the dry municipal codes and we're pulling back the curtain on Greenville, Texas. Exactly. We're diving deep into recent city council and planning commission records. We want to uncover the hidden moves that are honestly fundamentally transforming this city's future. We're bypassing the boring meeting minutes to get you straight to the insider secrets of how the city actually operates. Let me just hook you right out of the gate here. What do an 18-acre vacant lot, 4 brand new solar farms, and $55 million all have in common?
I mean, on the surface, absolutely nothing, right? But in the world of city planning, they're the exact puzzle pieces forming this massive, quiet transformation just beneath Greenville's surface.
Right, and to prove we're dealing with hard data today, let's look at one highly specific number. $55,857,132. That is the exact dollar amount of the recent Recreation Center bond authorized with AP Gulf states.
Yeah, so we aren't talking about, small town touch-ups here. These are serious multi-million-dollar investments going directly into the city's bones. So let's dive into this by looking at the literal ground we walk on.
Which brings us to our first segment, The Dirt, Wesley Street's Senior Shift. Now, this is a textbook example of highest and best use in real estate. So picture this. A few years ago, an 18.6-acre lot over in the Greenville 120 edition was zoned Single Family 3. The builder backed out, and the dirt just sat there, completely dead.
Right, but instead of trying to force another failed neighborhood, Wildcatter Realty Partners actually read the economic trends. They completely pivoted and pushed for a change to multifamily 1 zoning.
And what they're putting in is this massive 67,000 square foot senior living facility. We're talking assisted living, memory care, and 15 unassisted senior housing condos. And honestly, the real genius here is the step-down zoning. By placing this dense senior facility right next to general retail along Wesley Street, it creates this perfect buffer. It protects the adjacent property values, it fits that commercial vibe perfectly, and it brings vital economic growth to a lot that was literally doing absolutely nothing. Okay, moving on to Section 2, the grid, the solar farm boom. So the City Council just quietly pushed through 4 conditional use permits for 3 megawatt AC distributed solar facilities. All of these were applied for by Trevor Hand over at SunGrid Power.
Yeah, but the really key detail to look at is where they're putting them. Light industrial and agricultural zones. By strategically placing these massive solar farms in these very specific areas, the city keeps them completely out of residential backyards while still heavily upgrading the grid.
And if you look at the planning documents, they explicitly state the main goal here, to provide low-cost energy to the residents of Greenville.
Spot on. These SunGrid sites are acting in a direct partnership with GEUS to deliver on the objectives of the county-approved Project Sunshine. They're fundamentally changing how Greenville sources its power to ensure cheaper, way more sustainable energy. I mean, that is a massive infrastructure win.
All right, that brings us to Section 3, the flow, securing the water grid. Because, look, you just can't have population and economic growth without water. The city just allocated over $52.6 million for a Phase 2 water revenue bond. Honestly, that is a staggering amount of money dedicated entirely to water and wastewater system improvements and extensions. When you see a number like that hit the books, you know for a fact a city is preparing for a massive influx of demand. So to do this, they're officially acquiring a 17-acre tract of floodplain land at about $10,000 an acre. It's relatively cheap, and it's exactly what they need to install these raw water lines and reservoirs. Yeah, but you know what the smartest part is? They are actively working with consultants to integrate this exact same utility land into the city's future public trails master plan. Talk about maximizing every single taxpayer dollar. Which perfectly cues up Section 4, the people, upgrading the community. Let's bring this all back down to the neighborhood level. We already mentioned that $55.8 million bond for the new SportsPark Multi-Generational Center and the Reecy Davis Center expansion. Right, but the real insiders know the secret is in how they're actually managing it. The city signed an agreement to lease space inside the SportsPark Center directly to the Hunt Memorial Hospital District for rehab services. What this means is that tenant space introduces a planned, built-in revenue stream that actually offsets costs without causing a budget overrun or adding any new debt. That is incredibly smart fiscal management right there. And these partnerships, they continue right into education. The city just approved a memorandum of understanding between the W. Walworth Harrison Public Library and the Greenville ISD ACE program. Get this, for just $25 an hour over 10 months, the school district is utilizing the library space to boost student literacy and academic enrichment programs. It's just a brilliant cross-utilization of existing city assets to achieve a shared goal of student engagement. Finally, let's wrap this up with Section 5, the takeaway, your insider advantage. You know, everything we've unpacked today anchors back to the official 2025-2026 City Council goal: preserve the character of Greenville while preparing for flexible and sustainable growth.
Exactly. The pivot to a senior living center to save a dead lot, the strategic placement of solar farms into industrial zones, the $52 million water grid expansion that's doubling as public trails, all of it serves this very specific, highly calculated vision.
Which leaves us with this final, kind of provocative thought. If a failed housing lot can turn into a multi-million-dollar senior facility, and a random floodplain can become a vital water reservoir and public trail system, what will the next 18 acres in your neighborhood turn into?
Right? A city's trajectory isn't an accident, guys. It's shaped by these very documents. Keep your eyes on the agenda because Greenville is moving fast.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this explainer, everyone. We will catch you on the next one.